You're watching WBAL-TV, WBAL-DT Baltimore. Live, local, late breaking. This is WBAL-TV 11 News Saturday morning.
In this morning's Consumer Alert, does your college graduate have his or her hand out? I have a book you might want to put in their hand the next time they say, do you have any money? The name of the book is Please Send Money, a financial survival guide for young adults on their own. And Dara Duguay is here. She is the author of that book. Thanks for coming in.
Oh, welcome. Thanks for having me.
You're saying that young people are in real trouble. That's why you put this book together.
Well, one of the problems is it's not a requirement in public schools in Maryland. And if they don't learn at home and they don't learn in school, they learn in the school of hard knocks, and that has a high tuition.
Right. So when college is over or later in their early adult years, they're knocking on mom and dad's door saying, help me. Okay.
They're not only leaving the nest, they're returning to the nest, and it's usually because of financial problems.
Okay, we want them to stay out of the nest.
Yes.
So let's talk about some of the things that they used to talk about, some specific things in your book. The first thing you say is, watch out for those student loans. They can really get out of control.
They can get out of control, and if you couple that with credit card debt in college, you can have an extraordinary debt by the time you graduate. Make sure you only get a student loan for the amount that you actually need, not what you could actually qualify for.
Right.
And remember, student loans are only for school expenses, not spring break in Florida.
Do they make the students show that they are using it specifically for school?
It depends on the school. Sometimes the money goes directly to the student, sometimes it goes directly to the school. So if you have more control, you really need to make sure that the students manage that money very prudently.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about credit cards. That is huge on college campuses. What is your advice there?
Well, the average American has 9 credit cards. You really never need more than 2. And if you're a young adult and in college, it's a great way to start building your credit history. But never get more than 2, and make sure that your balance, the limit that you could charge up to, is only a couple $100s. That will only allow you to get into so much trouble.
And of course, you want them to get on a budget when they're in college, right?
Absolutely. And that's one of the biggest problems, is that young adults have this unrealistic expectation of how much things cost, especially if their parents were paying for everything while they were at home. And so they really do need to sit down with the parents, find out if they have to pay for room and board, how much that is, how much food out is, and have maybe an allowance by the parents to help cover that gap.
Okay, so they're in a little bit of a trouble. What are some the tools for repayment or getting out of this debt for these young people?
If you're in credit card trouble, you really need to stop charging. That's the best thing to do. And if you want to pay down that debt, try to do anything you can to pay more than the minimum payment. Even a little bit more cuts years off the lifetime of repaying the loan. If they're in trouble with student loans after they graduate, there's many reasons to get deferments. If you're unemployed, you can also go on a income-sensitive repayment plan. So in your first job, you're probably not making as much money. You could start out paying small, and it gradually goes up.
And some jobs you can negotiate for them to help pay your student loan.
Absolutely, and they should try that.
And your advice to parents, just say no?
Advice to parents, talk about money as much as possible. And remember, if you bail out your kids all the time, it's going to be a habit throughout your lives.
Okay, so when they come and knocking, I don't think so, right? No.
Practice.
Okay,
practice say no. Practice say no.
Practice. Okay. Thanks so much for coming in. Again, the name of the book is Please Send Money, a financial survival guide for young adults on their own by Dara Duguay. Thanks a lot.